Welcome back, viewers, to the final race of the day here from round 3 of the Elite Karting Series at Daytona Milton Keynes. And you join us now for the feature race, and I'm going to hand over to our commentators, Tom Dillon and Yusuf bin Suhail.
Starting grid for our 15-minute feature race is as follows, with the grid set by the total points from the first 2 races, which will be as no surprise then that Casey Baughan is on pole position with 50 points, the perfect first 2 races. Sam Cole in second, narrowly ahead of Andrew McWilliam, who is in third on 36 points compared to 38. JJ Hind only a point behind in fourth, with Philip Babalal in 5th. Olive Smith is in 6th, with Tom Langford in 7th. Jamie Sherman-Chase starts 8th, with Bertie Bream and Ben Sanders rounding out the top 10. Dylan Davis, after a DNF in race 2, starts in 11th with 22 points. Henry Barrington in 12th on 18. Samuel Rasool, Cullen Bangelo and Abby Sanders round out the top 15, with Dana Rohan and Aditya Dubey raking up the rest of the lightweight grid. As for the heavyweights then, James Brown starts on pole with 50 points himself. Matthew Bolton in second with 44. Tom Anger in third on 40. Matt Butland starts in fourth on 36. Dane Christensen in 5th on 32. Here we go. Feature race of the EKS at Milton Keynes is green. It's a fantastic start from Dylan Davis, my word. Almost a jump down into turn 1, makes 3-4 positions. Casey Baughan holds on to the lead of the race. It looks like Philip Babalal has made up a position as well on Sam Cole. That's a fantastic move for him as we see the heavyweights getting their race underway. Once again, it is James on pole position. Matthew Bolton is on the outside by the looks of things. Looks to get the lead of the race immediately down into turn 2, but James, as ever, is able to hold on to that one, Yusuf.
And Dylan Davis has got a fantastic switchback coming out of turn 5 on Sam Cole, so he's already up to P4. Philip Babalal up to P3. I don't know what the stewards are going to say about that start, because they did look a bit early from Dylan Davis, but if that was a clean start, my word, that was a mega start from Dylan Davis.
There's a brief yellow flag down at turn 6, I think it was, just in front of us from our little commentary gantry, but down into the final sequence of corners, Andrew McWilliam, who's got himself up into second position, is finally putting a challenge on Casey Baughan. Can he get this position? There's further scraps further behind. JJ Hines just been bumped by, I'm trying to see who that is, it's the driver with the Valet 46 helmet, but meanwhile it's Andrew McWilliam trying to attack Casey Baughan. He's going to have to wait a couple of laps for this one. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for him.
And Andrew McWilliam is right where he wants to be, right on the back of Casey Baughan, and he's forced Casey to go defensive into turn 4. This is where you start to get that mental edge that you know Casey's thinking about the driver behind him, instead of getting his head down and trying to pull out a gap. This is going to allow Philip Babalal to close in, and indeed Dylan Davis.
Maybe needing to do a little bit of working together. Someone who doesn't need any working together is James Brown. Pulled out a fine margin on the guys behind him, and well, you can see that Matthew Bolton's the only one really challenging him. Tom Anger is in 3rd in that class. He's under a little bit of pressure from, I think that's Dane Christensen just behind him. But as the lightweights disappear from our view, they go up into the back of the circuit. I think you can see something, Yusuf.
Yeah, so we're seeing Dylan Davis battling away, but here's the thing, it doesn't matter. Dylan Davis is going to be getting a black flag for a jump start, gaining 2 positions before the white line.
Yeah, it did look a little bit dodgy, didn't it, off of that start. Meanwhile, Andrew McWilliam still trying to pressurise here on our race leader, Casey Baughan, and he is, well, so aggressive on those curves on that right-hand side. Driver's right out of turn 1. Philip Babalal is there as well. We mentioned before in the broadcast that it is his home track, really. He's a regular at this circuit, Philip, and what a result a podium in the feature would be. 15 minutes, remember they've got plenty of time to get the moves done if indeed they need to. I can see further back Samuel Rasool is under a little bit of pressure. That will be, as I go through my timing monitor, that will be actually from Dana Rohan. They're 2 good friends, I think, on the social media, Samuel and Dana, and well, they're having a nice little battle here.
I think Dana's just a really likeable guy on social media. He's friends with pretty much everyone on the paddock. James Brown's having a bit of company down circuit, which, to be honest, when you're driving, you don't really want company when it's someone who's breathing down your neck. And for the first time, James Brown looks like he might be in a bit of trouble as our lightweights are back into view, heading into the final corner, still being led by Casey Baughan, who has led every single lap of the day.
He has, and I don't believe JJ picked up a Grand Slam in the previous round at Sandown Park, because he did not lead every single lap, whereas here Casey would have led every single lap, which is fantastic achievement in 3 separate races. Matthew Boulton, though, looking to get himself back up onto the top step of the podium in EKS. Here he is, down into turn 1, still pressurising James Brown, who again has had such a lonely day so far. He's having to look over his shoulder now, though I don't think he's doing much looking at there. At the top of the circuit is Philippe Babalao, looking for second place on Andrew McWilliam.
Up the inside into turn 7. That does mean that he's going to have the outside heading down into Clifftop, which is going to be compromising him all the way down to turn 8. This might be the opportunity that Casey Baughan needs to be able to get that 1-2 kart length gap to the rest of the field, but no, he's not got it. Babulo's looking for the lead.
Around the outside he goes, Casey Baughan trying to defend not only the lead of the race, but what would be the first Grand Slam, of course, in the EKS. And all over the curb is Philippe Babalao. Andrew McWilliam now looking to take one up the inside. Here he goes. And that is a fantastic move from Andrew McWilliam. Can Sam Cole here try and get his way through into a podium position as well? He's going all the way up the inside of Philippe Babalao, up into turn 2 as well. And that is fantastic stuff, squeezing him right to the line and just about into third. Sam Cole, that is a superb move, very brave. Very borderline, but I think just about right.
It was side by side all the way from turn 1 up into turn 4. Great stuff from Sam Cole, but it has meant that Andrew McWilliam and Casey Baughan have pulled away at the front, and it all came from the fact that Philippe Babalao looked for the switchback coming out of turn 10, allowed Andrew McWilliam to go up the inside into the final corner and check out up at the front. The question is, can Casey Baughan keep Andrew McWilliam behind? We have 10 minutes in the race. You've got 10 more minutes of battling here, Tom.
We do, and that's the beauty of the feature race, is you just have that little bit more time to allow that race to develop. And Casey Baughan on this lap, it's a small thing for him, but he's able to pull out just a couple of tenths of a second. Looks like Dylan Davis has pulled into the pits. I think he's retired from the race as well. Well, I think he's retired. I don't think he's going back into the car. So anyway, as we see further back, a few squabbles going on. Battle for that lead is just about starting to develop again as Andrew pulled out a little bit of time. It's only 3 tenths of a second between the two of them.
I'm just looking at most recent lap time, 69.0 for Casey Baughan, 68.9 for Andrew McWilliam. It's 1/10, but that's all you need, that 1/10 every lap. Close back in, put some pressure on. JJ Hind as well, closing in onto Philippe Babalao. Last time round for JJ, a 69.1. Philippe Babalao, a 70.3. So JJ very quick right now, gaining a lot of time onto Philippe, who I think had a bit of a battle with Sam Cole last time.
It looks like at the top of the circuit, Sam Dana and Abby having a battle. There's a change for the lead in the heavyweights. It's Matthew Boulton to the inside of James Brown. Can he get that position? It looks like, as he just disappears from our view in the commentary gantry, that he has. Defends the inside once again into the back of the circuit, and there goes Matthew Boulton finally back into the lead of an EKS race after such a strong Sandown Park. He has driven so well today. They are battling Yusuf, I think, in the lightweights.
They are indeed. A couple of drivers side by side as that Denner Rohan on the outside heading into the hairpin, gets squeezed out, can't find a way through, and as a result now coming under pressure. But going back to James Brown, who's having a go at Matthew Boulton on the outside heading into the hairpin, just can't find the traction on corner exit, can't find the switchback. I spoke to him after Heat 1. He was happy with his performance, but he was saying the rest of the drivers are going to be getting more to grips with the circuit, and then he'd start coming under pressure, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Matthew Boulton really finding his pace in the finals.
He is, and perhaps a little bit of luck with the kart being behind him, but you've got to have the skill as well. It's all about that fine balance between having the kart underneath you in a race, which is something you can't really control. They are fleet tested and as close as we can physically get them, but you've still got to get that little bit of luck to have a kart that suits your driving style, haven't you?
Look at JJ Hind, 68.6, fastest driver out on circuit. What a lap. He's really reeled in Philippe Babalao. Heading into the final corner, JJ with that blue suit, white helmet. Philippe Babalao, the multicoloured white, blue and a red suit, red helmet on top. And JJ, I think, is completely in attack mode. That time round for JJ, a 68.4. That's the fastest lap of the day as well, and by a margin. JJ is absolutely flying.
Meanwhile, is that Tom Ansher trying to go for a move? He lets someone back through. Actually, I think, I'm not not too sure who that is in the heavyweights that Tom's having a battle with. In fact, that's James Brown, isn't it? He's fallen right behind as Matthews got past him. They're side by side further up at the top of the circuit in the lightweights. I couldn't quite see who made that move down the inside. I think that's Jamie Sherman chased, and he's able to get through on what looks like Bertie Bream there at the top of the racetrack. As well, it looks like Tom Andrew as well. Yusuf is just looking a little bit racy.
Yeah, and this is all working out really well for Matthew Bolton, who's just pulling away at the front of the heavyweight field, as now James Brown is defending from the aforementioned Tom Angier. Here are our lightweights once again, still JJ Hines behind Philip Baburo, but look who's closing in third place. Sam Cole definitely looks closer to this leading two than he was a few minutes ago. But the thing is, those top two, they aren't really battling right now, as Andrew McWilliam has not been close enough to Casey Baughan to really challenge and force Casey to drive defensive.
Still got about 6 minutes left. It all depends on when they cross the line, whether it will be 6 minutes or whether it will be 5. We're quite a lap short. It is all very dependent on the factors and the leader's pace as well, most crucially. Leader right now is lapping at 68.9s, which is going to sort of ruin his Grand Slam attempt, as obviously JJ Hind is right there on the pace. But the field sort of spreading out for a moment. It still seems like Tom Angier, as they go up through that swooping right-handed hairpin, that he's trying to pressurise James Brown, but it's whether he's got that pace in the bag to try and properly attack him. It's the same story in the lightweights, you know, with Andrew McWilliam. I can see, is that JJ Hind further behind, looking at Philip Babalal? I think it is. That might be our next move to have a look at, you know, because down into the final couple of corners, Andrew McWilliam trying to go to the outside. Can he go for the switch back into the lead of the race? He's got the run, and he's got a fine move, I think. Andrew McWilliam to the lead of the race. It's going to finally take it. His patience pays off, and Andrew McWilliam leads.
For the first time today, Casey Baughan does not have clear track in front of him. Can he fight back? Can he put the pressure onto Andrew McWilliam? Sam Cole is now well and truly in this fight, and you can be sure that Philip Babulal, oh, that's a move up the inside on the exit of turn 5.
I think this is what we're seeing. I think perhaps Casey here isn't totally happy with his kart there, and that might just be what is going to cause Andrew McWilliam to fly away into the distance. It's going to be very difficult for him to get back into this race. Maybe the perfect 3 from 3 was just a step a little bit too far, which will be frustrating, I think.
But look how far Andrew McWilliam is. We're going to be seeing them coming into view, as James Brown still just about keeping Tom Angier behind. Andrew McWilliam had been able to get a bit of a gap to Casey Baughan, but you can see Casey close back in. And this is one of the psychological things with karting. When you're the driver behind, when you've got someone to chase, you find that extra little bit of time, as JJ Hind goes up the inside of Babulal into the final corner. Brave stuff from Babulal, who holds it round the outside, carries the momentum, and holds on to P4.
Yeah, I think JJ just got out of rev range there for a moment, didn't he? And it caused him to get a little bit worse run out of that corner, but he's still going to try and attack Philip Babalal. He's got a couple of laps to do it. We've still got 3 minutes or so to go in this race, and well, looking further behind, I can see Tom Angier maybe looking for that move finally on James Brown. He's not going to find it on this occasion, unless he gets a mighty run out of the final corner, which he in the end does not. We can see the lightweights having a battle further at the top of the field. I think that's to change the lead of the race again. It is going to be Casey trying to get the lead of the race back, but I can see Andrew just about holding on to it, just.
Andrew McWilliam, just cool as you like under the helmet, says, okay, Casey, go up my inside. I'll hang it round the outside, carry the speed, hold on to the position. I reckon Sam Cole's going to have a really good opportunity to find a way through on Casey Baughan. Never mind, Casey Baughan, he's not only has he fended off Sam Cole, he's right on the back of Andrew McWilliam once again. 1, 2, 3, closest you like through the hairpin, and Babulal and JJ Hind desperately trying to close in to make this 3-way battle for a lead a 5-way battle for the lead.
Well, I suspect he's going to get his first place trophy overall anyway, is Casey Baughan, but it's the individual races that you want to win as well. All are championship points, and as we head into the last couple of laps of the race, the top 3 virtually inseparable in the lightweights, which is exactly what we want to see. It's also practically inseparable, the top 3 in the heavyweights, though perhaps Matthew Bolton feels like he's got that race in hand for the time being. It's going to be a titanic finish to this one. I think we might just have 2 laps left as our lightweight leaders get to the line. Andrew holding on for the time being, but for how long?
I think I just saw JJ Hind going up the inside of Babulal into turn 7. I don't know if he got the drive, but they look to be almost side by side. heading down towards the cliff drop chicane. So you'll see once they make their way on to the back straight, here they come. And again, Casey Baughan right on the back of Andrew McWilliam, heading into that long left hand, and JJ Hind is up into P4.
Up into P4 now, one more place to get a podium. JJ Hind, they'll finish with the overall podium and not the points. Well, they'll be calculated after the fact, but it's the battle for the lead right now as Casey Baughan still trying to attack Andrew McWilliam. This should be the penultimate lap of the race, if I'm not mistaken. There's a massive scrap going on further behind. That is Tom Langford, Ollie Smith, Jamie Sherman Chase, all having a battle. And meanwhile, it looks like Bertie Bream is under, Henry Barrington I should say, not Bertie Bream, my mistake, under pressure from both Samuel Rasool and, of course, Dana Rohan. He's holding on to that position for the time being, but makes a little bit of a mistake as Dana go down the inside. He's not quite able to do so. Ollie Smith is going for a move on Tom Langford at the top of the circuit, and I think he's got that position as well. So there are battles all the way through this circuit.
Where do we even look, Tom? As you mentioned, there's battles everywhere on circuit. The top three in the heavyweight class starting to close into one another again. Matthew Bolton slowly being reeled in by James Brown as here comes your race leader, Andrew McWilliam, who has a few kart lengths. As is that an attempt up the inside? Sam Cole a little bit late on the brakes, maybe caught out by potentially how early Casey Baughan was on the brakes. The final lap board is out, and Andrew McWilliam just has 10 or so corners to navigate to bring home a finals win.
Bertie Bream is remonstrating, I think, about a move that it looks like Jamie Sherman Chase made, who did get a two-place penalty at Tamworth. Didn't see the move, so I can't really make a judgment on it, but as Andrew McWilliam looking like he's holding on at the moment to this lead of the race.
Into the carousel of turn 6 they go. We see their helmets pop up into view through turn 7. Andrew McWilliam has a few kart lengths over Casey Baughan, but you cannot get complacent. There are still so many tricky corners here at Daytona Milton Keynes left to navigate. They'll head into turn 8. We'll wait for them to come back into view. Where is Andrew McWilliam? Where is Casey Baughan? Over the crest they come.
Over the crest they come, and it's last chance saloon for Casey Baughan. Can he throw one up the inside into the final corner? He might just have the run. It's the oldest circuit on the calendar, Daytona Milton Keynes, and it's delivering the most fascinating racing. It's a mistake from Casey Baughan. Andrew McWilliam will round the final corner. He makes it a win. It's a drag race to the line for second position, and Casey Baughan holds it at the death. He won't make it a perfect 3 from 3, but he will at least get into second. There's further battles going on as Ollie Smith looks to attack here. Can he get into a position? No, he can't. Just squeezed at the line as our heavyweights will come into view shortly. I can see Matthew Bolton, who's actually caught up to the back of Abby Sanders, despite starting in the heavyweight field, of course. Here he goes to take the checker flag. Matthew Bolton returning to the top step of the podium. One more corner to go, and there he goes. A very, very good race from Matt.
Wow, what a fantastic day of racing. Matthew Bolton winning in the heavyweight class. James Brown will come home second in the finals. Third will be going the way of Tom Angier. But that was crack. Can we just go back and add another 5 minutes to the race clock?
I think we should, maybe 20-minute races here on forward at Tamworth on the 8th of July. But, well, that does it. We'll quickly go through your results, provisionally at least, pending any post-race penalties and things. Andrew McWilliam wins from Casey Baughan, Sam Cole in third, JJ Hind and Philip Abilal rounding out the top 5. Jamie Sherman Chase then makes up the 6th spot with Oliver Smith, Thomas Langford, Ben Sanders and Bertie Bream, your top 10. Callum Bengelow is ahead of the 117 car, the anonymous car of I think Dana Rohan. Actually, no, it's not Dana Rohan. 117 anonymous. We'll figure out who it is. Samuel Rasool in 13th with Abby Sanders in 14th, Matthew Bolton at 15th, winning in the heavyweights, James Brown, Tom Angier, Dana Rohan, Matt Butland, Dane Christensen, Aditya Dubey, and retirement from the race, Dylan Davis. Well, Yusuf, your first race with the EKS, it was fantastic. Enjoyed this round. Thank you very much for joining me, and final thoughts.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Cracking battle. Can't wait for the next round at Tamworth.
It is going to be spectacular. Thank you to everyone who's been keeping along with us on the post-race productions on the YouTube, and of course those on the PA system at the track. We thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all later. Good night.